Welcome back. It's kale time. One of my favorite things about it is you can basically grow this plant through 4 seasons. It really prefers the cooler seasons, spring, fall, and winter actually. It's a great one for winter, but even in the heat of the summer, kale can kind of make it through. And another wonderful thing about kale is that a single kale plant can produce not only for a very long time and over many months, but just a huge amount of harvest off of a plant. And if you're a kale lover, like I am and my family is, then probably one plant is not going to do it for you. We usually plant 3 to 4 plants in our garden in the spring, and then we follow that up with another planting in late summer that's going to kind of mature into the fall and carry on through the winter. So there's lots of different varieties of kale out there. I'm a big fan of the sort of Tuscan types. This is a Tuscan kale called lacinato or maybe lacinato, and dinosaur kale is another name for it. Kids love it because it totally looks like the skin of a dinosaur, the leaves. There's also Siberian kales, which are kind of more crinkly. There's a lot going on in the kale world, but we're going to plant some of this Tuscan kale today. And in terms of spacing, you're going to want to have about 18 inches apart for each plant. So I'm going to plant one right here, maybe one right there, and one right here. Oh, one more thing to mention. You can see here that we've actually got 2 plants growing in one container, whereas this one just has a single plant. And you know, if you're planting some things like salad greens, spinach, arugula, lettuce, having more than one plant in a small space is not a huge deal. But with things like kale, where we want that single plant to have really a lot of room to grow and spread and make really nice big leaves to harvest, really having 2 plants is more of a hindrance than a help. So what I always do at the very beginning, and people don't like this process initially, but you just gotta pick one. These both look like very healthy plants, so sorry, mister, that one's not going. And then we're back to a single plant. So some of the other vegetables that you might consider just thinning down to a single plant would be things like collard greens, also cabbage, which is the goal is, one big head of cabbage, or broccoli or cauliflower where you're trying to get that one crown. In all of those cases, having more than one plant in a single hole is only going to cause sort of competition between the plants and a reduced harvest in the end. All right, we're ready to plant. So definitely going to want to do a little bit of fertilization. We're always adding a little bit of organic fertilizer whenever we're planting, and just kind of making a habit of that to replenish the nutrients that we've taken out in the year before. So this is just kind of a balanced organic fertilizer, 5-5-5, and just, a couple tablespoons where each plant is going to go are going to be just fine. And then I'm going to work up that soil with a trowel. See, that's got some good moisture down there still. And then for planting, as with most starts, we're gonna kind of gently squeeze the bottom of the container to get it out. I like to have them well watered before they go in, so they have a nice store of moisture to protect them in this process. Then I'm just gonna open up a hole. I'm gonna put that plant right down at the soil level, maybe just below the surrounding soil. Close the soil in around it. A little bit of tamping, kind of make that nice root contact with the soil. Not too much. Tuscan kale. We'll do the same for these.
Kale.